Gullah is the strongest of all the blacks in America. They're the closest to the original African.
It's Thursday at midnight. Under a torrential rainstorm, Lisa and I roll into our campsite in St. Helena's, South Carolina. We've arrived here for the 3-day Gullah Festival. And for the last 16 years, the Gullah Festival is held here in Beaufort, South Carolina.
When they come this far, they find no fault. They feel like journey on. One more time.
Showcasing music, dance, crafts, storytelling, and low country cuisine, the festival celebrates who the Gullah are and the West African history. Of the 3-day festival, Saturday was the most crowded. We were fortunate to meet the Rev. He gave us the most amazing tour and history of the Gullah and islands in the area.
I would like to welcome you officially to the Gullah and the Geechee Nation. And I'd like to welcome you on behalf of our queen, Marquetta. She's a chieftain, chief spokesperson of the Gullah and Geechee Nation.
Because when we've been talk like this, then study that thing and say, ain't a nothing, and thing like that. So ain't nobody want to be nothing, you see. So then they start forgetting we talk more like this, so that way they would understand us, so that way they would realize that we were something like they were.
She's the first person ever from this region, from this community, to ever be invited to speak at the UN. St. Helena is about 12 miles long, maybe 3 to 3.5 miles wide. When the Union troops invaded this area around 1861, when they came on the island, they found that the whites had abandoned the island completely. They confiscated all the land that was left and pretty much distributed to the slaves. And now all this real estate, most of the real estate on St. Helena now belongs to the children of the former slaves. Some of the things might kind of have slowly disappeared, but all in all, the culture is still here. Usually you'll hear them talking like people that live in the Caribbean.
Oh, Mr. Wilmington, North Carolina.
The population of St. Helena is 6,500 people. 90% or more is Gullah. This was the first school established to educate black children in the South. Penn School.
While on the Penn School campus, we drove down a long dirt road. At the end was a small house by a lake. The house was built in 1968 for the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Unfortunately, he never occupied this house.
Just before it was completed, he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. But he used to spend a lot of time here at Penn Center planning his civil rights marches and writing speeches and stuff like that. Now this right here is the remains of a Confederate church that was destroyed in 1886 by a fire. But it's built out of tabby also, as you can see. Oyster shell, bricks, lime, other kinds of earthly products. A lot of people believe that this area is haunted by spirits. As you can see the trees, how they hang over. They look with the Spanish moss hanging off. Another name for Spanish moss, some people call it ghost hair. Ghost hair. As a matter of fact, Walmart is starting to sell moss. I see Walmart been marketing moss here lately. It's in the bag, plastic bags you can buy. You can go to the Walmart Supercenter right here in Beaufort.
Why would you do that if you could just walk up to a tree?
If there's anything in this world that can be marketed,
Walmart's going
to find a way to do it. And they say always low prices.
You're right.
Always.
Right.
Welcome to the house of the Lord to accommodate newly freed Negro slaves. It's not a church, even though you see the cross behind it. It's just a place together to give God praise for what He has done. Thanks for what He has done. To become a member of the Gullah or the Geechee Church, you would have to pass what was called a wilderness test. 3 times a day, the boys and the girls at age 12, once they reach the 12th birthday, would be required to go into the bushes and pray The only way they can pass the wilderness is if their dreams meet the satisfaction of their teacher. Place like you find usually the adults sitting in those chairs right there. The children will be sitting on the benches, and the ones that you have to watch the most will be sitting on the side. You have to put up with gecko crawling around in the place. Some people who are from the city are not used to a lizard crawling across the foot, so they go frenzy and they run across the street and light up a cigarette. If it ain't gecko bothering you, that they get concerned with, with Spider-Man coming out of the hole. The Mighty Mouse comes from the hole over here. Okay, they all competing. After that.
Thanks, Rev. It was a great tour. There was so much, we couldn't fit it all into this video. And thanks to the Gullah Festival for another excellent weekend in Harvey the RV.